Holy crap, what year is it? I have never played Hardened Scales with Mox Opal before. Nor have I ever played Hardened Scales with Agatha's Soul Cauldron before. This is a list I got off of Discord. Let's see what happens, huh? League matches now start upon pairing. Okay. I think I knew that already. This time around, I'm probably going to be a little busier than I used to be. So these games are going to be recorded, not live. But the commentary is going to be live. I'm not going to be dubbing over replays. Because who's got the time for that? Probably going to make a lot more mistakes. Probably got to make a lot more mistakes in the commentary. But you know what? It's going to be fun. Alright, we've got a Mox Opal, 2 Cauldrons, and an Ancient Stirrings. So I could go turn 1, Stirrings. Turn 2, 1-drop plus Soul Guide plus Opal. That gives us 1 spare mana. That doesn't really do very much. I'm gonna mulligan. Alright, here we go. We got 2 Zabazes, a bunch of 1-drops, and a Mox Opal, and a Soul Cauldron. I think we can keep this. Let's see. Probably putting back Soul Guide. Let's see, we got 3 mana here. Soul Guide does draw us a card. Maybe I'm putting back a land. Although then if they kill my turn 1's the boss, I don't know. Maybe a Hardened Scales hand would be better than this. I might go to 5. Not off to a great start, but here's a Hardened Scales hand. Yeah, I mean, we just got... this is a better hand. Guess I'm glad I kept. Alright, put back Soul Guide. Going turn 1 Scales, turn 2... Soul Cauldron Ravager, put back Stirrings, or... Soul Cauldron Stirrings and try and grind them out? Or, I mean, play a little slower. We can't really grind anything out with this hand. But, I mean, Ravager's good. Probably not putting back Ravager. Maybe I'm putting back Soul Cauldron. I actually have no idea how good Soul Cauldron is. But, you know what? We can find another Soul Cauldron off of our Stirrings. GLHF opponent. I show chat? How do I show chat? Show chat. Opponent kept 7. Opponent being polite in the chat. Saga's a good draw. Let's go Hardened Scales. Alright, it's a brave new format. We've got Mox Opal, we've got Splinter Twin. We've got Faithless Looting. Opponent Surveilling. Could be a Faithless Looting deck. Could be Dredge. Could be Mardu Twin. Could be Hollow One. It's definitely something Faithless Looting-y. Volgavoth Terror Eater. Flying Lifelink Ward. Sacrifice 3 non-land permanents. Card you don't control would be put into an opponent's graveyard. Okay. During your turn, you may play cards exiled with it. It's a 9-drop. Okay, so this is straight up Reanimator? Okay, it's straight up Reanimator, I guess. Probably that instant that gets cards back. Legendary creatures. Instantaneous legendary creatures. You know. Guess we're just playing a Walking Ballista. Next turn, we could Stirrings into some kind of free artifact and possibly present lethal. If I draw like a 1-drop, Stirrings into Mox Opal, Goryo's Vengeance. That's the card I was thinking of. All right. It's a 9/9 flying lifelink. Ward. Card, and then whenever something dies, it gets exiled instead, and they can pay life to play stuff exiled with it. Okay. I guess you gain 9. It's going to make it a little harder for me to one-shot them next turn. What is this? Oh, it's a new Summoning Sickness animation? I gotta figure out how to turn that off. Do not animate Summoning Sickness. Thank you. Ooh, they're ephemerating Valgavoth. Okay. I guess I'm not killing this with Walking Ballista since I have to sacrifice 3 non-land permanents to ping it for 1. Hopefully I'm not taking more than 9 damage next turn. Take this Ravager. Let's see. I can make a 5/5 Walking Ballista. But that's not gonna get through a Valgavoth. Oh, and they get a rebound. That doesn't do anything. All right. Well, if my opponent has nothing in their hand, and they go up to 32, I think. Oh, hey. I get to cast my Ancient Stirrings because it was in my graveyard. Well, that card's pretty good. It's pretty hard to kill. Guess I'm boarding in Spell Pierces and Rebukes, huh? Maybe Grafdigger's Cage. Oh, I could I also have Soul Guide, which I can get off of Saga. Opponent probably bringing in Meltdowns, so I'm probably boarding in all of my counter magic. Sounds like a good plan. I think we might not win this one. Also, counter magic, good against reanimation spells. Also good for protecting our card that turns off their entire deck. I hope. I hope it turns off their entire deck. Are they playing Thoughtseize? Do I need Veils for their Thoughtseizes? Or Fatal Pushes? FOMO. It's a 2-drop Nightmare. It's a 2/3 for 2. Enters the battlefield, discard, then draw. With Delirium, whenever it attacks for the first time, if there are 4 more cards, untap, and there's an additional combat. Okay. Definitely heard people on the internet talk about this card. Discards another FOMO. Now they do have Delirium. Oh, and they give the FOMO haste. Oh. Untap target creature, and there's an additional combat phase. And this thing has flying and life. So I have to kill the FOMO now. Sack Ravager to itself. Oh, and it gets exiled. Alright, you got me. Huh. That card is Graveyard Hate, huh? Alright, so we're definitely bringing in all of those. And probably this. Question is, do I want Tormod's Crypt? Does Needle do anything? Do I want Beseiju? I don't think Beseiju does anything. I didn't see anything I would Veil of Summer. But if I see a Thoughtseize or a Fatal Push, might be worth... No, we're probably only concerned about Meltdown. Alright, we gotta make 6 cuts. Welding Jar, presumably decent against Meltdown. Meltdown allows Regenerate, right? Meltdown MTG. Total. Destroy each artifact. Yeah, okay. So, we can definitely keep it in Welding Jar. We could cut the Emeries and the Bauble. Does Haywire Might do anything against them? I didn't see anything worth Haywire Mighting. Guess I'll know. We'll find out if that ends up being a mistake. Soul Cauldrons? Are we really playing 4 Soul Cauldrons? Oh, it does. It is Graveyard Hate. So I guess we're keeping those in for this game. 2 more cuts. Patchies. We kind of. I feel like we kind of want to keep all our threats in at this point. I only have 1 more minute to do this. Wow, this game's harder than I remember. Let's see, we could cut Stirrings. We're boarding in all these blue cards. We could cut Lava Spur, Patchwork, Soul Cauldron. I probably just want to cut Stirrings. Like, I want random artifact dorks to tap to Metallic Rebuke. Alright. As much as I love Stirrings, as much as I hate to cut an Ancient Stirrings, let's see. Patchwork? I mean, we could make a turn 2 3/3 Patchwork with Rebuke up. Is that going to be good enough? Actually, we could make a turn 1 1/1 Patchwork. Huh. I kind of want to go for it. Obviously, this hand would be a lot better if we, like, drew a Hardened Scales or something. But, I don't know. We could draw. I could draw value. At least my opponent could get got by this Rebuke. Opponent discard Kalia of the Vast. Holy shit. Excuse me. Holy crap. I don't know. Are we still in the first 10 minutes of the video? Probably. Come on, Mox Opal. Come on, play into my counterspell. You know you want to. Thank you. All right. Just 6 attacks away from victory. Ooh, that'll speed things up a little. Excuse me. We having internet connection problems? Okay, we seem to be connected to the internet. Let's see, we got a 4-4 patchwork. If I sack 1, 2, 3, make it a 7-7, that's a 3-turn clock. And then I still have this welding jar. I guess making it an 8-8. All right, well, if it's a 3-turn clock, then I don't have to sack right now. If it was a 2-turn clock, I would consider it. Hopefully, opponent doesn't have any more Goryo's vengeances. All right. Opponent is dead 1 combat from now. 2 combats from now. You get the idea. Let's see. Ozolith does allow me to present lethal, and opponent does not have the mana to ward unless they have a 0-drop. So I think I have to go for it. Let's see. I need 14 power, which means I need 9 counters on the patchwork, which means I need a 5/5 Ravager. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Makes it a 4/4 sack. Oh, is that 1 short of lethal? It is, isn't it? Huh. Well, right? That's how that works. Ravager is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 counters plus 4 counters is 13 damage. Oh, they do have a Bloodstained Mire in play. So that would prevent them from sacking the Bloodstained Mire, but it would also cost me my jar. So I think I can sack the Citadel and the Mox Opal and have 2 dudes in play. I don't know if I have any mana sinks that I care that much about. And I have 3 mana. I think I'm gonna sack the Opal. This way, we're pretty resilient. We got 2 creatures in play and the Ozolith to protect things if they die. Opponent can't Grizzlebrand twice anymore. They're below the Grizzlebrand threshold. Opponent has Solitude. Okay, well, Solitude is a way they could have killed Patchwork, so I'm glad I didn't go all in on the Patchwork. They're gonna Solitude my Ravager. They can't Ephemerate and kill the Patchwork, so I think I'm just gonna sack the Ravager to itself here. And pray. Oh, but they can exile the Patchwork on the rebound. Which is going to cost them 2 mana, so they probably... So I'm probably not getting Gorios here, at least. Got plenty of life. Lots of counters on my Ozolith. Walking Ballista is lethal. If only there was a Gigantha in my sideboard. Or, yeah. Opponent Prismatics the Ozolith. Okay. Well, I tried. Oh my god, and I drew the Ballista too. Let's see. So if I play the Ballista, does that do anything? Not really. I guess I'd rather save it for in the event of a Scales. That doesn't make any sense. I guess I should have played it. Damn. Solitude Ephemerate seems pretty good against me. Opponent has Lootings, which are definitely going to help them grind out this game. This deck definitely used to have some more grind to it back when we had played like well, Hangerback Walkers, the Green Ozolith, Soul Cauldron obviously would be fairly grindy choice. I guess this is enough mana to trade with the Solitude. So I guess that's why I was saving the Ballista. Okay. I'll trade my Welding Jar for your Solitude, I guess. Stony Silence. Huh. Well, there's one more Beseiju in my deck. I guess I'm not pinging in response. Not the best timing, Hardened Scales. Let's see. Do I have cards in my deck that do anything other than Beseiju? I've got Urza Saga. What's Arena of Glory do? Oh, it makes things have haste. Damn, that card is good. Discards Atraxa and FOMO, huh? If I had gone all in on the Patchwork that turn, when they played the Solitude, they would not have been able to Ephemerate. They would not have had the mana, because they would have had to pay for Ward. Then I would have nothing except one very large Ozolith, which they did end up killing with Prismatic Ending, so. Let's see, so does this copy itself? First time, 4 more card types, untap target creature. Yeah, so it can untap itself. Okay. But then it just gets to attack for 2. Okay, well, Urza Saga does things, I guess. Can make 2 3/3s or 4/4s. My opponent has to really continue to not find Goryo's Vengeance. Or really any value cards. Just flashback Faithless Looting, opponent. Maybe I can Stirrings into Beseiju. I did keep a pretty derpy hand this game. Yes, opponent, you may continue to hit me for 4. Or just 2 with Vigilance. Opponent is digging. They are digging faster than I am. I will give them that. They are much more likely to find a good card before I do. Come on, Saga tokens! What do I even get off of Saga? Do I have any artifacts that do anything without being activated? I don't think so. Oh, I have Grafdigger's Cage. Oh, that would be sick. Come on, one more turn. One more turn. And then you won't be able to Goryo's me. Wow, opponent has a lot of Goryo's targets. Okay, 2 more looks. It's their land drop. All right, we dodged a Goryo's. I don't know. We could get there. Opponent's only at 4 life. They have to block here. They take 3. We did not draw a spell for the turn. If we had a spell, we could have had lethal. Opponent has Ephemerate to save their FOMO. And also loot once. And I suppose loot another couple times. Well, at least one more time. They choose not to Ephemerate. Which either means they drew something really good, or they messed up. Or they wanted to attack with a 2/3 with Vigilance. That's another explanation. Is there any strategy here? Do I just swing out? I mean, I have to just swing out. I have 4 attackers. I guess I might want to pump these up in case they have some way to bring back a Grizzlebrand. Let's see, if an opponent plays, say, Solitude, they like... I mean, is Patchwork even doing anything? It's a lethal attacker. Might as well have an extra body. Opponent does have Solitude. Opponent decides to eat the Patchwork instead of eating the Ballista, which is an interesting strategy. Let's see. So this guy's going to take 3 damage and then go down to a 4/4. So he should be fine. I mean, I guess Patchwork has Ward and Ballista doesn't. That's the only explanation. This has been an interesting game. Stony Silence, drawing from Hellbent. Stony Silence on one hand and Grafdigger's Cage on the other. We're just like trying to beat each other up with the random other stuff, with the plan B. Two decks, neither of which has a plan B. May put a card from your hand onto the battlefield. Okay. Okay, they're gonna attempt to draw a Grizzlebrand off the FOMO, and they did not. All right, did not think we were gonna get that one. We are on the draw here. Maybe that means we want Tormod's Crypt. More likely, I think it means we want both Seiju and Thief of Existence for that Stony Silence. Maybe Haywire Might. As Haywire Might doesn't do anything against Stony Silence. But both Seiju does. Both Seiju can also be Stirringsed. Maybe that means we don't want this Welding Jar. Probably means we don't want these Lava Spur Boots. They're a little bit dead. Soul Guide, probably worth it. Soul Cauldron obviously is our primary form of graveyard hate, at least when an opponent doesn't have Stony Silence in play, so maybe I don't need this Soul Guide. Just Grafdigger's Cage and 4 Soul Cauldrons. Ballista, like Patchwork, could trim a Patchwork on the draw. Our deck just doesn't have that much gas, you know? I'm afraid to trim Patchworks. I guess we can take out a land for that Boseiju. Basic Forest. And cut a Stirrings. All right. Grafdigger's Cage for the win. All right, we got Stirrings, Boseiju, Walking Ballista. 4-5 lands? Probably do better than that. Ooh, this could work. Let's see. Citadel, Opal, Soul Guide, Scales. Put back second Opal. Next turn, hopefully we draw a land. Then we can go Scales, 3-3 Ballista. That is a land. All right. Mox Opal doing some work here. And we're back. We are 0-1, losing to Kalia of the Vast, Goryo's Vengeance, which was a pretty sweet deck. Mardu colors. And they had Stony Silence, and we lost to Stony Silence. Although we beat Stony Silence game 2. So if we had not had such a bad hand game 1, maybe we would have won that match. Now I have a little more of a plan for Stony Silence, so let's see here. There we go. Let's see, we've got turn 1 Mopal Emery. That seems like a hand. Emery Bauble? Yeah, I'll take it. Let me just hit that number. Is this a turn 1 Saga hand? I think this absolutely is a turn 1 Saga hand. Turn 2 Saga activation with 3 artifacts in play? Yeah, I think that could work. Opponent's not even gonna know that we're on Scales. They're gonna think we're playing Affinity. Okay, Mox Opal might be... Okay, now they know we're on Scales. Mox Opal might be a pretty decent card. I guess I will not crack the bauble just yet. I want to crack it on upkeep. Am I even going to be... Like, I think I want to keep the bauble around for... Mox Opal purposes, because we might just want to be activating Saga next turn. Opponents on something blue and red. We might be getting twinned here, so we probably have to try and figure out how to win pretty quickly. Let's start by attempting to cast this Ravager. Or maybe this is a Boz. We probably want the Zabaz, right? Sagas, Lava Spur Boots, Haywire Mite. Haywire Mite could protect us from Twin. If I have Zabaz, Ravager, Ozolith, am I killing my opponent? Probably not. I guess I'll take the Might. Might as well attempt to cast it here. If it's getting countered, we can just Emery it next turn. Now, I guess I have enough artifacts I can bauble them. They are drawing Splinter Twins, so there's that. Ballista is a good pickup. So I think I'm going Ozolith here. Soul Cauldron is another good one. Opponent is gonna try and tap down my mana here. Let's see. So Zabaz can put one counter on Ballista. I can also cast Might from the graveyard. If I get Zabaz, then I have a 3/3 Zabaz, which can activate to kill a Exarch in a pinch. I also have this Soul Cauldron, which can just turn my Zabaz into a Ballista. I can put the Ballista in the graveyard for free. Let's try and do that. Don't really want another Mopal, so it's kind of between Ozolith and Zabaz for more counters. And then this Emery just repeatedly casting Haywire Mites is gonna annoy my opponent for sure. Zabaz? Ozolith. Let's start with... Ozolith is kind of slow. Let's get Zabaz. Keep you, modular onto you. Okay, this seems like a good plan. Let's go land. Let's cast Haywire Mite. Let's cast Soul Cauldron. Opponent's gonna Exarch down something, but that's not gonna do it, opponent. Oh, but opponent doesn't know about my Ballista. Oh, they're gonna untap mana. Huh. Okay, I thought they were gonna tap down my mana. Are they gonna try and bolt my Haywire Mite? You're just gonna counter my Soul Cauldron. Okay, that's fine. I guess. And now I just have to hold up Might activation. This Emery's pretty good. Opponent's only on 3 cards in hand, and one of them's twin. Alright, Emery's dead. Sad. Not bad. Let's see. So I can just play a Ballista and kill the Exarch. Or play a Ballista and Zabaz onto it to kill the Exarch. Let's start with stirrings here. Another Zabaz, a Boseiju, and a Saga. Man, those are all pretty good. I probably want Saga here. Oh, I already played my land, huh? Dang. Alright, well. Get in for 3. Opponent can potentially kill my might. Untap and twin me, and having a ballista in play gives me an out to that. I guess I don't necessarily want to F6 here, because, well, not literally F6. 4 mana. Cryptic Command? Odawara. Okay. I guess I'd rather just have the counters on Ballista, huh? Well, now I have a 4/4 Ballista. Do I need more mana? I guess I could play the second Opal to have... Okay, good enough. Let's see. So we're up against Twin. Dismembers could be good. Boseiju could be good. Counterspells could be good. Soul Guide is probably not very good. Needle, probably not very good. Probably better to try and deal with the Twin. This is sorcery speed, so we don't want that. Veil of Summers could also be pretty good. So we got a lot of sideboard options here. I like the Haywire Might. I don't think we need the Lava Spur Boots. I think we can play a slower game here since their combo's not that good. We got, Patchwork Automaton is very hard for them to deal with. Soul Cauldron, pretty good. Grindy card. Emery, pretty good grindy card. Welding Jar, definitely gonna help us against that thing that kills all your artifacts. Meltdown. So yeah, these cards can help us not die to Twin. These cards can also help us not die to Twin, but they also stop Meltdown. So I think we want to start with these. Other than that, we're on the draw. Could cut some stirrings. Could cut a Soul Cauldron. You can Soul Cauldron Emery, huh? That seems pretty good. I think we're cutting stirrings is here. We don't even have any silver bullets that we really want to get. Could they be bringing in Stony Silence? We didn't see any white mana. And we got these things anyway. Okay. It is, I just love stirring so much. Feels bad. Ooh, Gemstone Cavern's Hand. It's nothing but a Ballista and a Soul Cauldron, though. Turn 1, 2/2 Ballista. And nothing else going on. I think we can do better. Double Mopal. I mean, this is the exact same hand. But with a welding jar, I guess. Now it's a much better hand. Let's see. We go Zabaz. Then next turn we can go Patchwork, Opal, Jar, Zabaz. Yeah, I think we just play a Forest here. And hope they don't have Counterspell. If they hold up mana, maybe we just go Soul Cauldron. We don't have any way to stop Twin, actually. So blue mana? You have to, I mean, I'm sure they have counter magic, but you have to lead with Patchwork, right? It's just so much better earlier than later. Now I would like a Metallic Rebuke. Please, deck. Thank you very much. Boseiju would be good. I guess Veil of Summer is a pretty good blowout against Counterspell. Seems like their deck is kind of built around Counterspell here. Oh, thank you, deck. I approve. Let's go. Let's see. So Zabaz Opal Jar is enough to play Rebuke, right? And it costs 1 mana. Soul Cauldron Opal Jar also works. But I can't play both. I think I have to go Zabaz Opal Jar here. Guess I should have led with the jar, huh? Opponent has Meltdown for 1. Do I want to rebuke that? Opponent has 5 cards in hand. That's actually only killing either my Opal or my Zabaz. So, do I keep the Opal around? See, if I jar the Opal and then I play Soul Cauldron, I only have 2 artifacts in play. But if I let the Opal die, this Rebuke is useless. I guess I have to try and rebuke it. How about another Rebuke deck? Inkmoth is not bad. Opponent has Consign. Last card, another Soul Cauldron. Let's put a counter on my Zabaz. This doesn't give ward, does it? Man, that would be sick. What's the zoom in hotkey? Q? Yeah. I gotta change that. Let's see. So Ink Moth hits for 2, 3, 4, 5. I could make a 5 power Ink Moth with the Soul Cauldron and give it the power of Zabaz too. I mean, with opponent on only 3 lands, it looks like they're kind of stuck on lands. We might just want to go for it. Opponent has Lightning Bolt on my Zabaz. Opponent has Lightning Bolt on my Ink Moth. I guess I should have... No, because I need the red mana. So here, do I just animate the second Ink Moth and make a 4/4 Ink Moth? Or do I save this Ink Moth? Yeah, I guess I have to burn the welding jar. And that way I can still have a 2-turn clock next turn. Let's see. Activate, activate. Oh, I can't even... Yeah, I can. Okay. Blood Moon. Well, that's annoying. At least I have a basic forest, huh? I'm not even... I guess I'm a little bit vulnerable to Blood Moon. I don't have that many basics. Turns off my sagas and such. Given the Blood Moon of it all, are we boarding in the third Boseiju? There's another Zabaz. Having infinite red mana is kind of nice with Zabaz. Don't mind that. Was that a reason to not activate the Soul Cauldron? I guess this Zabaz would have been one bigger if I hadn't. We're sure Zabazing here. Alright, I guess there's no reason to activate the Soul Cauldron until we're going to combat at least. Alright. Opponents, you need Delirium to attack again? Opponent's hitting for 2, 1 card in hand, so we're not worried about getting twinned. They still have twin in their deck. They didn't board out the twins. This thing doesn't have a mana sink or anything, does it? Anyway, all our creatures are Zabazes now, which is better than the alternative, I guess. They fly. You know, if we made a big patchwork automaton or something, it would fly. Guess we don't even have a use for green mana here. Opponent has another counterspell. Well, all of our creatures are walking ballistas now. Our creatures, Soul Cauldron. Everything that gets countered makes the Soul Cauldron a little bit better. Every creature I draw is a little bit better than before, if I ever draw any creatures. Opponent has Odawara. I guess that does basically nothing since I still have a Zabaz in the graveyard. Unless they have a counterspell. It also turns on Fear of Missing Out, which is now a 4/3, sort of, hitting me for 4 per turn. Opponent, down to 1 card in hand. Come on, creature. Spell Snare. Man, I've been spell snared. Let's see, my sagas are dead. It's pretty much just the Ravagers and the Ballistas that are good at this point. Patchwork would be a 2/2, which would not really save me. Patchwork would be forced to chump block. Cameo. So, Ballista? Ravager's not bad. Rebuke does not do it. Alright, we have been twinned. On to game 3. We were a little too derpy that game. Beseiju, Veil of Summer, bring back the Stirrings. We get to be on the play this time. Maybe cut the Gemstone. It is a little like we want to be grindy, but we also want to be aggressive. And we need to stop their combo. So like I don't know how much of this stuff we can really afford to play, but because we're on the play, I think Veil of Summer could be the blowout we need to recover the tempo. Or to press the tempo advantage, I should say. Beseiju, I mean, it can surprise a twin, so and it can nuke a Blood Moon. So yeah, Beseiju over Gemstone, I suppose. We still gotta cut 5 cards though, and like I don't know, on the play and in general, I just really like Patchwork. I feel like this deck is so low on threats at this point with all these Soul Cauldrons. We can cut a Soul Cauldron, right? Is Soul Cauldron really that good that we're playing 4 of them? Do I even want Haywire Might? Why are we even playing Thief of Existence? Like, you can't cast it with a Blood Moon in play. Is it for Stony Silence? I guess it's for Stony Silence. You can hardly cast it with a Stony Silence in play. Stony Silence turns off so much of your mana. I don't want to cut all 4 Stirrings, but I kind of feel like that's what's going to happen here. Could cut 1 Mox Opal. Post board gets blown out by Meltdown. All right. Goodbye, ancient stirrings. I will miss you. Let's see. This is a turn 2 Emery, I guess. Seems slow. It has a Beseiju. I guess I'll keep it. Rebuke is a nice pickup. Emery also goes well with Soul Cauldron. We have a Soul Cauldron in hand and a Ravager in the graveyard, so not feeling too bad about that. Also, we can Soul Cauldron the Emery. Opponent taps out for Tameo. What does this thing do again? What key was I gonna try and press? This one? Oh, this one. Let's see. When it attacks Investigate, you draw your third card. You get to flip it into a Planeswalker. So you make some clues, and then if you draw 3 cards, you do a thing. Let's see. If I go land Ballista, then I can tap land Ballista Opal for the Rebuke. Question is, do I want to play Ballista or Soul Cauldron? I guess I want to play the Ballista. Kind of telegraphing this Rebuke if I hold up blue mana. Probably worth it. Am I gonna get spell snared? You know it. Oh, consign. That's acceptable. Okay, opponent is flipping Tameo. Whenever a creature attacks you or Planeswalker control, it gets smaller. Return an instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, opponent is not flipping Tameo. Attempt to play Soul Cauldron? Play Soul Cauldron with Rebuke backup? Or play Ravager with Rebuke backup? I think we want to just play the Soul Cauldron here. Because then all my creatures will be ballistas and such. Nice. It would be nice to have a Ravager that's also a ballista. But I have to actually resolve a creature for that to happen. Do I want a welding jar here? I probably do. Is this going to resolve? No. That would be silly. I mean, at this point, 2 Ravagers, Ballista, Emery in the yard. I think I might want to start proactively Soul Cauldroning. I don't know what's most important to exile, if it's the Ballista or the Ravager. I think I can afford to exile 1 Ravager. Because then, if my Soul Cauldron dies, I still have a Ravager in the yard for future Soul Cauldrons. Opponent is flipping Tameo. Nada. Okay, well, that might allow us to force through a creature of some kind. At least it can stop Twin. They should probably have countered the Exarch, or attempted to counter the Exarch. Are they just going to twin with Counterspell up? That's kind of what it's looking like. Oh, I should have tapped these two. Fuck, if I get fucking spell snared, I'm going to be sad. And that was that. We lost. We lost to Twin. It feels tough cutting all your gas for counter spells. Maybe you really don't want to do that on the play. All right, let's run it back. We're learning. It's a learning experience. I think I probably don't want to cut. I probably want to go cut more Soul Cauldrons. I think I should go down on Soul Cauldrons post board, especially against Artifact Hate. You just need some creature based threats in order to not have what happened last time happen. Let's see. We got land, Opal, Zabaz, Emery. Okay. Oh, that doesn't work, does it? No, it doesn't. Because I can't tap Opal. Land, Opal, Zabaz, land, Ozolith. Alright. Are we getting burned? Burn has, in my experience, been a very good matchup for Scales. And we drew another land. Alright. Maybe we don't even care about Emery. Maybe we just want to turbo Ballista here. No, I think I'd rather Emery. Ravager, Opal, Emery? No, Zabaz, Opal, Emery. Because we didn't have enough artifacts in play to keep Ravager alive if opponent bolted it. And in this situation, if I draw a land, I can go Soul Cauldron, Ravager, win. Ballista for 0, win. Opponent has 2 red mana. and a 3/4 Swift Spear. They are casting Lava Dart, targeting my face, which seems potentially like a misplay. I guess they're using that to light up the stage, which is not going to be good enough since they're now out of red mana. I guess they can Lava Dart from the graveyard. In order to kill my Zabaz in response to a Ravager. We did draw a land. So let's start with a Soul Cauldron. Then play our Ravager. So if I Ballista for 0, Soul Cauldron onto the Zabaz, and then sack 2 to the Ravager, then I have a Zabaz which has a Ballista activated ability, and it only has to be a 10/10. Let's see, the Zabaz is a 1/1, 2/2 from the Soul Cauldron, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the Ravager, 7, 8, 9 from the Ozolith. That might not be enough. Let's see, 2. Ravagers 1, 2, 3. Zabaz makes 4. Ozolith adds another 3 is 7. Zabaz is 1 plus 1 is 9. So not quite lethal. Oh, and we have to do all this in response to the Lava Dart. If I sack the Soul Cauldron, Zabaz loses the Ballista ability. I think it's still worth it. Well, I'm not sacking the Soul Cauldron. That's not what I meant by worth it. But I will force them to use the Lava Dart and then save whatever they try and kill. Or just save those Zabaz. And then hit them for a bit. And also have a giant walking ballista in play. So unless they can play 4 lava spikes, they are going to lose. I guess maybe I should have killed the Swifty. Doesn't matter. Pew. Thank you. Okay. Burn. Prowess, prowess, burn, prowess. These cards can gain us some life. These cards can deal with a Swift Spear, but at the cost of life. We probably just want to bring in these cards because they also stop Meltdown. Probably don't care about any of that stuff. We are going to be on the draw. We probably just want to trim a bunch of Soul Cauldrons because they do not block. And an Ancient Stirrings. Maybe one Soul Cauldron over one Ancient Stirrings. We probably want to trim Bauble. And maybe all the Emerys too. No video though. Okay. Do I want Emery Bauble against Prowess? Do I want Stirrings? No, not really. Do I want Soul Cauldron against Prowess? No, also not really. Emery does block. And, you know, generate value. Probably go one Emery over one Soul Cauldron. Maybe two Emerys over two Soul Cauldrons. Emery blocks. Bauble over Stirrings? I mean, we are playing Emery. Bauble over another Soul Cauldron. Alright, let's try this. Maybe I should have trimmed a land. I don't know. Huh. We're on the draw. Scales, Spell Pierce, Saga. Turn 1 Saga. Turn 1 Saga and Scales. Yeah, I think we can keep this. Turn 1 Spell Pierce. Oh, Soulscar Mage is so good against us. Dude, that card's so annoying. But, you know, if opponent's pointing burn spells at our creatures, well, we have an Urza Saga on turn 1, I don't think we mind that all too much. Yeah. Should not be a problem. Gut shot? Oh, doesn't even have the balls to represent gut shot. Unfortunate for them. Hold up Saga activation and Spell Pierce? I guess so. Or activate Saga preemptively. Maybe we activate Saga preemptively. Why would I do that? In case of getting Meltdown for 1. Obviously, just to bait the Meltdown for 1. That was why I played right into it instead of holding up Spell Pierce. I don't know. I'm still learning the format. Cut me some slack. I only killed 2 of my guys. And I only took 1,000,000 damage. It's fine, guys. Do we have any way to gain life? We don't have Shadow Spear, dude. I used to play Shadow Spear in this deck. That's why the burn matchup was always so good. Anyway, we have a decent-sized Construct token. We could get Haywire Might. We should probably just get Mox Opal to Spell Pierce. Why would I be Spell Piercing here? I can't even Spell Pierce anything my opponent would play. Man, that Spell Pierce would have been pretty good, huh? Zabaz, Ozolith, Lava Spur, Bobble. It's got to be Zabaz, right? Yeah. We can't even Spell Pierce here. Okay. Hopefully my opponent can't break through my shield wall of 1/1s. Opponent has a Braid. Okay, that is not bad. One more spell and I'm dead? Not quite. I do kind of have to block here, though. Can make a decent-sized Inkmoth Nexus. Gut Shot. Paying mana to Gut Shot the Inkmoth Nexus. Did we win game 1? I think this is only game 2. Hardened Scales is not going to help us. Alright, on the play for game 3, let's cut the Gemstone. Yeah, see, like Soul Cauldron would not have been very helpful there. We need bodies. We need boots on the ground. What if we bring in Stirrings? Is Spell Pierce even good against Prowess? It's not like Burn where you really want, 3 life. I think it might be better just to try and generate value. Oh, it's for the meltdowns. Okay, fine. Yes, it also might have won us that last game if we had played our shit right. All right. Unfortunately, we have to play the Zabaz before the Scales. Unless I go Inkmoth, activate Inkmoth, Bobble, Opal, Scales. That might be the move, actually. Opponent's down to 5. Or Inkmoth, activate Inkmoth, Bobble, Opal, Stirrings? That can't be right. It's either Zabaz Stirrings or Zabaz Scales. Stirrings is safer. Citadel's pretty good here. So is Ravager. Greedy? I mean, is this hand even doing anything if I don't take the Ravager? If they don't kill my Zabaz, then I will crack the Bobble. We have seen Gut Shot already. God, I love Gut Shot. Opponent, thinking. My opponent's taking a long time to think. Maybe I should cut this part out. Opponent has Meltdown, which they cast for 0 to blow up my Mox Opal. Which I guess means they didn't have very much in their hand. We drew 2 lands, so I think this one is gonna be alright. Let's play a Hardened Scales, and then next turn we can make a 3/3 Ravager. Looting. I guess that is the only card Prowess got from the bans, huh? I don't know if looting is that good in Prowess. Ooh. That'll work. That's probably why we haven't been winning. All the games we lost, we didn't play a Patchwork Automaton with 2 Hardened Scales. Opponent gut shot the Patchwork. Basically dismember. 2 damage, 2 mana. Or, yeah, pay 2 life, pay 2 mana, deal some damage. Let's see. So if I activate Ink Moth, Zabaz is 3 counters on the Ink Moth, 3 counters on the Ravager. Yeah, okay. So Ink Moth is lethal. So if opponent tries to kill my Ravager, I might just make a 10/10 Ink Moth. Also, that would be 3, and that would be 5. So even if they successfully kill my Ravager, the Ink Moth would end up being, or even if I have 2 removal spells, the Ink Moth would be a 9/9. That's a pretty good one, too. All right, we did it. We beat Prowess. All right, I'll see you next time. All right, let's go in for round 3. That was quick. Let's see. If I press this button and then this button, that'll work. It's the next day. I don't even remember what happened yesterday, other than I won 1 and lost 2. Let's see. We lost to Mardu Reanimator and Twin. I've been brewing a little bit. Kind of interested in playing more Emrys. And maybe more... Sort by mana value. Maybe more Baubles to keep up with the Emrys, to boost the Emrys. Let's see. Alt-Tab. There we go. Ooh, a Mox Opal hand, a Gemstone Cavern's hand on the draw. I'll keep this. Probably putting Forest under the Gemstone Caverns. We can go turn 1, Patchwork into Mox Opal. Opponent down to 4. Okay, maybe this will be a freebie. Although we don't have the most punishing hand yet. We do have this Ancient Stirrings. A 0-drop artifact, like a Mishra's Bauble, would allow us to Stirrings on turn 1. Opponent with the turn 1 Saga. Interesting. Well, since they mulled to 4, probably Hardened Scales, huh? Or some other Saga deck that I'm not aware of. Probably gonna wanna... Ooh, another Patchwork. Probably gonna wanna hold this Boseiju. I could even Boseiju their Saga. Commercial District. Huh. Saga with Surveil. Oh, it's Titan. It's Titan. And Titan has Green Sun Zenith now. Okay, not a Mox Opal deck. Ooh, Hardened Scales. Huh. So if I go Patchwork, Opal, Scales, then I don't get the Scales for the Patchwork trigger. But I can't play Patchwork. I can't play Scales and Patchwork unless I have 3 artifacts in play. Interesting. This Patchwork might not even end up doing anything. I probably want to hold up Boseiju. Let's see. I could just go... I can't... Boseiju costs 2 because I don't have a legend in play. And it doesn't count Mox Opal, right? Legendary creatures. So I could go Patchwork, Opal, Scales, and then next turn Stirrings with Boseiju up and hit for 3 this turn. I could go... I did not play a land yet this turn, so I guess I should start with Stirrings. Or I could play the Boseiju. And then I could go Scales, Patchwork, Opal, Stirrings. Right? Yes. Maybe let's do that. I mean, it's risky to play my Boseiju, but since opponent only has 3 cards in their hand, let's see. If they get Amulet off of this Saga, they have 1, 2... Bounce land makes 3/4 mana. So any additional land card, I guess Azusa costs 3 and makes 4. Okay, so if their hand is Titan, bounce land, and 1 additional land, they still can't play the Titan. They would have to, they'd have to have 2 plus mana cards. They'd have to have like Titan, bounce land, Amulet. Titan, bounce land, Amulet, plus Amulet off the Saga would get there. I think I'm going to go for it. Because this line makes me pretty likely to be able to kill them the turn after this one. So I think they don't have it. And I'm just going to try and put pressure on them to go off this turn. Could be a mistake. Could be this Boseiju would have got there. Let's see, Ravager. Definitely putting pressure on the opponent here. So good luck, opponent. Or bad luck. Do your worst. Echoing Deeps. Copy of any land in a graveyard. Okay. I think I'll take that as a sign that my opponent is not going to kill me this turn. Like if they go Azusa, bounce land. Okay, good enough. All right, we beat Titan game 1, which is definitely a win. What are we even doing against Titan here? Obviously, we're bringing in Boseiju. Needle doesn't do anything against them. Metallic Rebuke. Thief of Existence. Non-creature, non-land permanent. Dude, why is Oliver playing Thief of Existence? I do not recommend this card. I think we have better ways to kill non-creature, non-land permanents. I don't know. I guess it's for ring, right? You should not be playing this card in a post-ring format. There's no more rings anymore. So exiling 4-drop artifacts is not something that you're doing anymore. So yeah, I understand now. I understand now. Sorry, I never played this deck while ring was in the format. No more Thief of Existences for me. Let's see. So we're bringing in Boseiju. We can probably cut Soul Guide. Let's see. We like Haywire Might. We like Lava Spur Boots. Some number of Rebukes. Some number of Spell Pierces. No, not Spell Pierce. Dismember. It's pretty much just Rebuke. Over like Emery maybe. These games probably won't tend to go very long. Yeah, okay. I'll bring in a couple Rebukes over a couple Emerys. And maybe over one Soul Cauldron. Oh hey, and we got him on the draw last game with Gemstone Caverns. God, I love it. I love a good Gemstone Caverns. I love it when Gemstone Caverns pays off. You really don't want that many of them though, especially because they do nothing on the play. Well, they're a blank colorless land on the play. Okay, so we got Ravager Saga Opal Stirrings. No Hardened Scales. No third artifact for Opal. So this is kind of looking like a turn 1 Pendelhaven Stirrings hand. No artifact destruction. We don't really have any silver bullets to get off Saga. I guess it's Haywire Might. We can Haywire Might off of Saga. If this hand had a 0 or 1-drop artifact, for example, Mishra's Bauble, then this would be a turn 1 Saga hand. No, that's not true. Okay, maybe Mishra's Bauble's not that good. I'll go to 6. Let's see, we got Scales, Opal, on the draw. No turn 1 play. I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad hand. We definitely have to keep this. Probably putting back Patchwork. The thing is, Patchwork's kind of our primary source of +1/+1 counters here, but we need the 2 lands. We need the Ravager Ballista in order to kill them, and we need the Mox Opal in order to play Hardened Scales. So it's kind of Patchwork or Ravager Ballista here. So, I mean, we could go... No, we have to play a 2-drop on 2 in order to have enough artifacts to tap this Mox Opal. So it's really between Ravager and Ballista. I think I'll keep the Ballista if I can't have both. At least Ballista does stuff on its own. Patchwork can be chump blocked. I mean, Ballista doesn't do that much on its own. All it does is kill a the additional Azusa, kill an Azusa. Ravager at least gives this Patchwork a pretty quick clock. Assuming they don't have any blockers, any arboreal grazers, which they always do, so. Let's see, opponents down to 6. A fair fight. So we're going turn 2 Patchwork, turn 3. Hopefully, green land, Hardened Scales, Ravager, Opal. Obviously, okay, we Thoughtseize bugged the Ballista. So this is a turn 4 hand. But that's generally not good enough against a Titan player with 6 cards in their hand. I guess any land is fine, because we can activate the Ink Moth to play Hardened Scales. Okay, a free artifact is not bad. So here we can go... Patchwork, Opal, Jar, Scales. And then... next turn, if we draw a land, we can go Ravager, Ballista and probably kill them. Or we could plan on Ravager Ink Mothing them to death if they don't have Boseiju. If they do have Boseiju, then, you know, at least we have green mana. Opponent has turn 3, 2 amulets. So we're probably just dead here. Lotus Field. Okay. The thing about Lotus Field is, with 1 amulet, it generates 3 mana, but you lose all your bounce lands. With 2 amulets, it generates a Primeval Titan amount of mana, but so does a bounce land? No, that's not true. You need an additional land drop for it to work with a bounce land. So okay, maybe Lotus Field makes sense. It's kind of a non-bow with bounce lands, but if it's your only way to play Titan, you just go Amulet, Amulet, Titan. Or if it's like your primary plan, I could see it. If it's like a random one of, I guess it could just be a tutor target. I could see situations, since it's the okay, they get an additional Titan. I assume I'm dead here. Mirror Pool. Sacrifice it for 5 mana to create a token. That's a copy of Titan, and then Battlements gives them both haste. Okay, we're dead. All F6 here. 2 more Lotus Fields. What are you doing with all that mana? Do you have a 12 drop in hand right now? that you can play at instant speed? I'm so confused. Oh, that was just one. Okay, so the next Titan trigger, now that you have all this mana, is gonna get Kessig Wolf Run. Okay, I like it. Anything I would change? Rebuke would have been good that game. So would Beseiju. Would Spell Pierce have been good that game? No. No, it would not. Would Dismember have been good that game? No. Alright, let's ship it back. Oh, I probably should have cut the Gemstone Caverns, huh? Can't keep this. Haywire Might, probably pretty good. Let's see, Patchwork Opal. Yeah, this could get there. I mean, this could also just be a turn 1 Saga hand. We go like... I mean, I guess it could be a turn 1 Saga hand even if we don't make any constructs. We go turn 1 Saga Ozolith. Turn 2 Patchwork Opal. Saga gets Zabaz, I guess. I mean, Ozolith can help us generate some counters, especially with Patchwork Zabaz. I think this is not a turn 1 Saga hand. We're probably gonna... Our plan here is probably just gonna win with Patchwork and keep our opponent under control with Haywire Mites. Do I have 2 Haywire Mites in the deck? I think I only have 1. Put back Ballista? I guess so. Doesn't feel very good. Anyway, here's hoping our opponent goes turn 1 Saga. Yep, there we go. Alright, so we can go... Ooh, Rebuke is good too. Saga... Patchwork... Mox Opal. And then we can Rebuke this turn and Haywire Might next turn. Or Rebuke and Haywire Might next turn. Another Patchwork. Not bad, but I think I have to just proactively Might. The thing is, if I proactively Might, I can't hold up Rebuke. Play Might, hit for 3. Hold up Rebuke and hold up Might activation. Opponent gets Amulet. I guess we can nuke the Amulet in response to a land drop, but that doesn't prevent the triggers. I could just play Patchwork, hold up Rebuke. And then we probably survive anything short of an uncounterable Titan. Unless they go, like, Amulet, unless they have an additional amulet in hand. I kind of like play Patchwork Hold Up Rebuke. We got to get the clock going here. I don't know. Could be a mistake, but opponent has so many cards in hand. As long as they're not all Arboreal Grazers. Internet connection. Could be better. I guess I should probably try and move some of the things that are in between me and the router. Because we are gaming on the motherboard's built-in Wi-Fi chip right now, which is suboptimal. Alright. Opponent has 3 mana off this Gruul Turf. I think this Rebuke is gonna be good here. Opponent did have a lot of Grazers, I'll give him that. But spamming Grazers and then playing a naked, unprotected Primeval Titan is exactly what we wanted our opponent to do here. Pact of Negation? We drew a colorless land, so I could go activate Saga, get Bauble, activate Haywire Might. Or I could... see, yeah, there's only one Haywire Might in here. I can't, there's no, like, I can't get Boseiju. It's pretty much just, Zabaz. Zabaz versus Mox Opal. Would Zabaz even be good here? I mean, Zabaz is in general pretty good with Ozolith. I think I'd rather have a Saga token. Yeah, that is what I thought I had. All right, we did it. We beat Titan. We are 2-2. Sorry, just figuring out my new keyboard here. Let's take a look at this build. The more Mishra's Baubles you add, the more mana flooded you will get later in the game. That's my main concern with Bauble. Is that yes, it makes you more likely to draw yourself into Ravagers and Ballistas late in the game, but it also makes you more likely to draw yourself into these what? 8 cards. There's 8 cards in our deck that don't do anything once you have enough mana. We do have a lot of utility lands. We have 11 utility lands. You can always sack Mox Opals to Ravagers. So I guess Turbo Xeroxing with the Baubles is probably a decent plan. I don't know. It feels so bad to get mana flooded with this deck. Windows, there we go. I will take the play. Now this is a hand. The question is, do I want to Opal pre-patchwork or post-patchwork. Actually, this doesn't even have a Hardened Scales. Now that I think about it, this might be a mulligan. We're on the play, though. We're on the play with a 3-3 patchwork on turn 2. Or turn 1 patchwork into turn 2, crack the bauble and pray. Turn 2, make a 3-3 patchwork on the play. Is that even good enough? Is this a mulligan? I feel like every hand without a Hardened Scales on 7 is a mulligan. All right, I'm going to 6. Look, it's got a Hardened Scales and no creatures and nothing but a Saga on turn 2. Huh. All right, let's try 5. You have to mulligan aggressively with this deck. That's one thing I think we weren't doing quite well enough. Some of our previous matches. Now we have a 1-lander and no blue mana, which I have to keep. So put back Lava Spur and pray. We are praying for lands. And not Mox Opals. Oh well, I mulliganed. Maybe I mulliganed a little too aggressively. It's possible. I'm still mulligan decisions are kind of vibes based, and I'm out of practice. So that's what makes the difference between a great Magic player and a good Magic player is definitely the mulligan decisions. Because like, I don't know, when you misplay, you misplayed, but when you miss mulligan, you have no real way of knowing. You have to screenshot the mulligan and post it in the Hardened Scales Discord. That's the only way to know. Oh no! At least we've got 2 Veil of Summers in the sideboard. What are we getting? Junded? Is this Tarmogoyf Jund? Wouldn't that be? Actually, I wouldn't even be angry. Land? Opponent's just gonna tear my hand to shreds. This is the downside of Bobble, and we're only playing 1 Bobble. There's only one. Upkeep, stop. There's only 1 Bobble in the deck. All right, we're up against Persist Jund. Or Persist Mardu. Could be Persist Mardu, not ruling it out. Persist Jund. Renin 6 is actually pretty good against 1/1 Patchwork Automata. Also, game 2, we're gonna have to face Soul Guide Lantern. All right, let's go to game 2. Let's bring in Metallic Rebukes and Spell Pierces to try and stop Meltdowns. Let's bring in Grafdigger's Cage to stop Persist. Do we want Tormod's Crypt? Probably not. Bring in Veil of Summers. We can probably cut Gemstone on the play. We can probably cut all our Ancient Stirrings. We probably have to cut Haywire and Lava Spur and a Soul Cauldron. All right. I mean, this is gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to hit our mana with no Ancient Stirrings in the deck. But I don't know what else to cut. we do not have very many blue sources. But this is one of them. So, yep, this is a good hand. Question is, do I want to turn one Zabaz here? I think the answer is no, because once I have 2 artifacts in play, I can go Opal Zabaz. If I go turn 2 Patchwork, I guess like Opal's not even good until I have a Zabaz in play. Since I don't have a Scales, I think I'd rather keep the Zabaz around for an extra Patchwork trigger. If I draw a 1-drop, I'm gonna regret this decision. Also, Zabaz does just die to red and 6, so. Hopefully we don't get persisted before turn 3. Turn 4, I guess. Before this saga pops. This saga is going to pop on my turn 4. So, if we get persisted turn 3, tough. We get persisted turn 4, we have Grafdigger's Cage. Although we don't have any way to protect it right now. Spell Pierce. Turn 1 Spell Pierce. Turn 1 Veil of Summer. Those are all cards that are in my deck, right? Veil of Summer would be so good here. I'm not sure if I would even Spell Pierce that. Although we might be getting turn 2 persisted, which would suck. Yep, Faithless Looting seems pretty good with Goryo's Vengeance and Persist on turn 2. Luckily, opponent did not discard a Persist target, so I think we're probably fine here. Oh yeah, and creativity gets around. Where were you when I needed you? Well, now I wish I had played the Zabaz on turn 1. Maybe Veil of Summer's not good against creativity. It does does it fog Archon? Does Archon target? I don't think so. No thoughtseize, please? Okay, well. Could be worse. Could be worse. Ozolith is a good draw. Ozolith, means we're pretty close to killing our opponent here. Let's just go Ozolith, Zabaz, hold up Veil. And then next turn, we definitely have lethal. And hopefully Veil is sufficient interaction. Hopefully Veil does something. hopefully opponent tries to Thoughtseize us instead of like Archoning us. Ping my Zabaz? No. All right, feeling pretty good about this game. Opponent gets a tap land. Feeling very good about this game. Opponent is tapped out. Plus, minus, I guess doesn't matter. But minus would be a little more annoying than plus. Honestly, opponent's hand must not be very good, or they are quite confident to tap out against Scales on turn 4, or on Scales' turn 4. Just getting an additional Zabaz here. Yes. Do they have 0 drops? I could be Solitude. I haven't seen any white mana, so not really afraid of Solitude. Also, we can just go all in on the Patchwork. So yeah, we are golden. Did that work? Did that go through? Come on. Come on, internet. Alright. Which Sabaz do I want to keep? I guess I want to keep this one. Guess it kind of doesn't matter. What I meant was, do I want to modular onto Zabaz or onto Patchwork? Let's see. We have 4 mana here, so we do have to tap out of Veil. But that's fine, right? Like, what can they do? They can't do anything against this Patchwork. There's not a... Oh, there's Force of Vigor. Don't forget to play around Force of Vigor. Huh. I guess Veil of Summer doesn't do anything against Force of Vigor anyway. Question is, can I play around Force of Vigor? So my opponent's at 7 right now. Assume they're forcing the Ozolith. So if I like sack Zabaz and target Ravager, then they force Ravager Ozolith, and then I only get to hit them for, let's see, I Ravager onto Ballista or onto Patchwork, doesn't matter. If I Zabaz onto Patchwork, then Patchwork's a 9/9, and I have plenty of other gas. So yes, we're Zabazing onto Patchwork, forces the opponent to Force a Vigor, and then we should have enough to kill them in response. Good plan. We solved the puzzle. Glad I remembered that Force of Vigor is a card. Okay. Anything I would change? Haywire Might, Pithing Needle for Ren and 6. Gemstone Caverns on the draw over Veil of Summer. I'm not sure Veil of Summer does anything here. Does Haywire Might do anything? Does Beseiju do anything? Stirrings or Needle? Probably Stirrings. Or Soul Cauldron. Oh, Soul Cauldron actually stops Persist. So definitely should have been playing the 4th Soul Cauldron. Although in general, I'm not sold on the 4th Soul Cauldron. Like, the thing doesn't do anything unless you have creatures in your graveyard. It's good against Persist. I'll give you that. It can be good against stuff that the opponent is doing. This hand does have a Mox Opal. You know how I'm a sucker for a Mox Opal, but this Mox Opal's not actually generating any mana. Or this Mox Opal's not actually better than a land unless we draw a land. And I don't think these Patchworks are going to be fast enough. Yeah, this is more like it. All right, so we're going Sanctum, Nexus, Scales, Patchwork, Soul Cauldron, Ballista, put back Forest. Three, 2, anybody? Can we survive an Inquisition here? Kinda. I mean, they're taking Hardened Scales and then We're just kind of dirtling around, but we have this Soul Cauldron. They might actually. They did take the Soul Cauldron game 1, because it does hate on their plan. At least it hates on their persist plan. Doesn't do anything against their creativity plan, but creativity can sometimes be too slow for us. They did take the Soul Cauldron. Again, just very happy to be left with a Hardened Scales in my hand. Guess I'm glad I have 4 Soul Cauldrons. On the other hand, maybe that means we're getting persisted turn 3. And this hand cannot beat an Archon, because I will just sacrifice it to Patchwork. Can this hand beat multiple discard spells? Also no. But at least this reduces the chance that my opponent is persisting me, I suppose. Although it kind of increases the chance that they are... am I even jamming Ballista here? I guess it doesn't make sense to sandbag it when they have... hand disruption. And they are at 14. That's not that high of a life total. If I draw Arcbound Ravager this turn, that's a kill, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Okay. You know, opponent could play like Ren and 6. Opponent goes Ren and 6, Thought sees you, and then I draw Ravager and they die. I have outs, is what I'm saying. Opponent's gonna blow up my scales. I guess that's acceptable. I have a basic forest in hand, so I guess I'm gonna get the breeding pool. Do they have a way to kill my Ballista? And then Archon, and then Creativity me the following turn? Kinda looks like they have a way to kill my Ballista. Oh, they don't play Blood Moon. They need their lands for creativity purposes. Opponent decides to hold up Lightning Bolt, which is not very good against Pendelhaven. Meltdown for 0. Okay, you have killed my Ballista. I guess that makes sense, because Ballista stops creativity. Alright, here's the plan. Here's the plan. Opponent... Alright. Pendelhaven? Inkmoth. Pendelhaven. Soul Cauldron. Pass. And hope that opponent doesn't see the line. Oh, they're going for it. Oh, they're going for it. They didn't see the line. Yeah. Aw, oh, damn. Okay, fine. Fine. I have 1 card in hand. And I can only put 2 counters on my Ink Moth. So I need a creature of some kind in order to stop their creativity. I think I want to preemptively kill the dwarf token so that if they do creativity for 1, at least I don't have to have my Ink Moth in play. On the other hand, I could attempt to poison them. Walking Ballista, an Ink Moth with a Walking Ballista ability kind of doubles its power. Like 3/3 Ink Moth. If I draw like Ravager, that puts another counter, another 1 counter on Ink Moth. If I give Ink Moth a Ravager ability, it also, so it 2, 3, I don't know. It's kind of a slow poison clock. But I guess the plan here is to try and make a big enough Ink Moth to kill them. Zabaz does not help with that plan. Does it? Because I don't have any red mana. But I can sack the Zabaz to an Archon. They don't have any creatures in the yard, do they? Alright, sack the Patchwork, or exile the Patchwork. Patchwork on the Ink Moth. Hit them for 3. Opponent's on 2 cards in hand. We still kinda can't beat a removal spell plus Archon. Oh, but they would need land plus Archon, or they would need land plus creativity in order to double creativity, because they only have 4 lands in play. I didn't even think of that. Okay. Soul Cauldron's definitely putting in work here. It didn't even occur to me. I have never played with an Ink Moth Nexus that has a Walking Ballista ability. And Zabaz also has the Walking Ballista ability. That didn't occur to me either. So I do actually have enough counters in play in order to wipe their board. All they have is another Fable. Okay, feeling good here. Fable Shaman token gives them more creativity targets, but actually is kind of net neutral on creativity targets. At least it gives them more mana. What? Pendelhaven grants 2 toughness? Nobody told me that. Nobody told me Pendelhaven gives you 2 toughness. I could Zabaz ping a dwarf token and then Soul Cauldron onto the Ink Moth, which is probably better. Then I hit them for 4, and then I hit them for 3, and I win. Okay, let's do that then. Opponent, no cards in hand? Alright, we win. Okay, 2 and 3, or I mean 3 and 2. 3 and 2 is not too bad. Let's see, I'll ping that. And then I'll activate that. And then I will exile that. All right, not bad, not bad. Let's try and accumulate some play points here. We're a little low on play points since I spent 250 tickets on Mox Opals and Soul Cauldrons. And we got a qualifier point. All right, so yeah, I feel pretty good about going up a bunch of baubles, actually. The bauble plan. Soul Cauldron was pretty good that game. Maybe the 4th Soul Cauldron is good. I don't know. Okay, here's what I've been thinking about this deck. It's like Mishra's Bauble. The thing about Hardened Scales is the core of your deck. The Patchwork, Soul Cauldron, Ballista, Scales, Zabaz core. These are the only good cards in the deck. And as we accumulate more good cards, the deck gets leaner and leaner, right? We've completely cut hanger back walkers, I guess, in favor of Emery's. Emery, which is why I never want to go down on Ancient Stirrings, because Ancient Stirrings is by far the best way to draw you into more of the core of your deck, right? To maximize your Ravager Ballista plan. I'm not even counting Soul Cauldron as part of the core of the deck, actually, because yes, it generates some +1/+1 counters, but you actually need a Ravager or a Ballista in your graveyard for Soul Cauldron to be good. So Ancient Stirrings draws you into more of the core of your deck. Bauble also draws you into more of the core of your deck, and it draws you into more Ancient Stirrings and more Emerys. And Emery mills things for Soul Cauldron. It mills things to let you recast Ballista Ravager. It taxes your opponent's removal more. Like this deck does want creatures, which is why I think playing like 3 or 4 random Urza Saga Silver Bullets is like not the move. I think like 3 Silver Bullets. Obviously you need 1 Ozolith. Ozolith is insane. I would never go down to 0 Ozolith. Honestly, I would cut the Lava Spur Boots. Or the Welding Char. These are chaff right now. Maybe the 4th Soul Cauldron is the move. Over a Lava Spur Boots. I was also thinking maybe just 2 Welding Chars over Lava Spur Boots. I've never played with Lava Spur Boots. I could definitely see haste being good, especially like with Emery. If you're like playing Emery on turn 3 or 4, or even like you draw Emery late in the game, having a random Lava Spur Boots in play can absolutely just win you the game out of nowhere sometimes. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, the way it's looking. In the sideboard, we have Artifacts and Enchantment Hate. We have Graveyard Hate. We've got stuff for creatures. We got stuff for Meltdowns and Splinter Twins. And we got 1 Pithing Needle. Let's play this deck, shall we? Oh, I probably have to go, so I will play this deck some other time. I'll see you on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen.